Hello and welcome, tennis fans and sports enthusiasts from all across the globe. You are tuning in to what is undoubtedly one of the most unexpected, electrifying, and historically resonant breaking news stories of the entire 2026 tennis season. Today, we are not just talking about a standard tournament update. We are not just talking about a routine player pairing. We are witnessing collision of two entirely different eras of tennis, the merging of a legendary past with a brilliantly promising future. In a stunning announcement that has sent absolute shockwaves to the global tennis community, the Tennis Channel has just revealed that 21-year-old rising Filipina star ALEX EALA will be teaming up with none other than the absolute icon of the sport, former world number one, and seven-time Grand Slam singles champion, Venus Williams. They will be taking the court together as a doubles team at the WTA 500 Bad Homburg Open in Germany, a crucial grass court event leading up to the historic Wimbledon Championships. This is the kind of headline that makes you stop whatever you are doing and read it twice. Venus Williams, ALEX EALA, playing together on the same side of the net. To fully grasp the magnitude of this moment, we have to understand the sheer scale of the generational bridge that is being built here. On one side, you have Venus Williams, a 45-year-old titan of the game whose professional debut happened years before ALEX EALA was even born. Venus is a trailblazer who, alongside her sister Serena, completely revolutionized women's tennis with unprecedented power, athleticism, and unyielding mental fortitude. On the other side, you have ALEX EALA, the absolute pride of the Philippines, a young, dynamic, left-handed prodigy who has been steadily climbing the professional ranks, carrying hopes of a nation and the broader Southeast Asian region on her shoulders. This pairing is not just a tactical decision for a tune-up tournament. It is a cinematic moment in the sport, a literal passing of the torch, and profound testament to the enduring, timeless appeal of tennis. The Bad Homburg Open, scheduled for June 21st to the 27th, has suddenly become the absolute center of the tennis universe. Typically, the grass court season is a frantic, incredibly short window where players scramble to adapt their footwork, their timing, and their tactical approach in preparation for Wimbledon. The transition from the slow, grinding, crushed red brick of the European clay courts to the slick, fast, and unpredictable lawns of Germany and England is notoriously one of the most difficult challenges in professional sports. The bounces are lower, the rallies are shorter, and the margin for error is razor thin. It is a surface that heavily rewards experience, intuition, and a massive serve. And when it comes to experience and success on grass, there's perhaps no active player on earth with a resume quite like Venus Williams. To have Venus stepping onto a grass court is an event in itself, but to have her doing so alongside a 21-year-old rising star who represents the future of the sport adds a layer of narrative intrigue that is simply irresistible. Let us unpack the sheer excitement surrounding this news. Social media is already ablaze. Tennis forums, sports networks, and fans in the Philippines and around the world are buzzing with anticipation. The image of the legendary American, a symbol of dominance and longevity, high-fiving the charismatic, incredibly focused Filipino youth is something that marketers, tournament organizers, and pure tennis purists alike are salivating over. Both players have been granted wild-card entries into the singles draw of the Bad Homburg Open, alongside local German talent Eva Liss, which in itself is a fantastic opportunity. But the decision to pair up in the doubles draw is what elevates this from a great sports story to a potentially historic one. Doubles tennis requires a unique synergy. It is not just about individual skill. It is about communication, spatial awareness, and a complementary clash of styles. You need chemistry. And the chemistry between a 45-year-old icon and a 21-year-old prodigy is going to be incredibly fascinating to dissect. What adds an utterly poetic twist to this breaking news is the recent history between these two athletes. They are not entirely strangers to one another on the court, though their previous encounter was from opposite sides of the net. Earlier this year, in January at the ASB Classic in Auckland, New Zealand, a then 20-year-old ALEX EALA teamed up with her good friend and fellow American teenager Iva Jovic. Their opening round opponents were none other than Venus Williams and the veteran Ukrainian stalwart Alina Svitolina. In what many considered a brilliant display of fearless tennis, the young duo of EALA and Jovic managed to defeat the highly experienced legends in straight sets, taking a fiercely contested first-set tiebreak 8-6, before cruising to a 6-1 victory in the second set. Imagine the psychological journey for ALEX EALA. In January, she stared across the net at a woman whose posters were likely on the walls of every young tennis player growing up, a woman who has defined the sport for a quarter of a century. EALA had overcome the sheer aura of Venus Williams to secure a victory. And now, just a few months later, she will be looking to her side, standing shoulder to shoulder with that very same legend, fighting for the same points, the same games, and the same match. It is a remarkable full-circle moment that speaks volumes about the respect Venus Williams must have for EALA's game and the incredible trajectory of EALA's young career. The news of this partnership also serves as a massive boost for EALA during a very critical juncture in her season. Just days ago, EALA wrapped up her clay court swing with a difficult exit at Roland Garros, falling the opening round to her aforementioned friend and doubles partner, Iva Jovic. EALA has been incredibly mature about the loss, acknowledging the unique difficulty of playing a close friend on the tour, where the environment can often feel isolating and where camaraderie is a rare and precious commodity. Despite the early exit in Paris, EALA remains confident in her growth, recently earning a spot on prestigious Forbes 30 Under 30 Asia list in the entertainment and sports category, an accolade that highlights her immense impact beyond just her win-loss record. She is a cultural phenomenon in the Philippines, a beacon of athletic excellence. And now, she has the opportunity to absorb knowledge directly from one of the greatest minds in tennis history. As we prepare to transition from the introductory shock of this breaking news into a much more granular breakdown, we have to ask ourselves, how exactly will their games mesh? What can ALEX EALA truly learn from this experience? And what drives Venus Williams to continue competing and specifically mentoring at this stage in her unprecedented career? As we transition into our deep dive analysis of this incredible pairing, let's first look at the tactical and physical mechanics of what a Venus Williams and ALEX EALA doubles team actually brings to grass courts of Bad Homburg. Doubles on grass is a highly specialized discipline. It demands lightning-fast reflexes at the net, powerful serving to dictate the point from the first strike, and exceptional returning to neutralize the opponent's server. Let's start with Venus Williams. At 45 years of age, she is no longer the invincible force that won 5 Wimbledon singles titles and 14 Grand Slam doubles titles, primarily alongside her sister Serena. However, what she retains is an unparalleled tennis IQ, a wingspan that essentially swallows a net, and a serve that, even at a reduced pace, relies on masterful placement and heavy slice that bites into the grass. When Venus Williams stands at the net, her mere presence is intimidating. She possesses some of the crispest, most authoritative volleys in the history of the women's game. For decades, she has understood the geometry of the doubles court better than almost anyone alive. She knows exactly when to poach, exactly how to close the angles, and exactly how to apply insurmountable pressure on the opposing team. Her experience on grass is encyclopedic. She understands how the moisture in the turf affects the bounce, how the wear and tear of the baseline alters the footing, and how to stay impossibly calm during the rapid-fire exchanges that define grass court doubles. Now, let us factor in ALEX EALA. EALA brings youth, boundless energy, and perhaps most importantly, a left-handed perspective. In doubles, having a left-handed and right-handed partnership is a massive tactical advantage. It means both players can position their stronger forehand wings toward the center of the court, effectively eliminating the traditional weakness up the middle. EALA's left-handed heavy topspin forehand will create incredibly difficult angles for their opponents, pulling them wide and opening up the court for Venus to execute easy put-away volleys at the net. EALA is exceptionally quick around the baseline, a product of her rigorous training at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Mallorca. She has the defensive capabilities to retrieve balls and keep the point alive, perfectly complementing Venus's aggressive, first-strike mentality at the net. Furthermore, EALA's serve, which has been steadily improving in terms of velocity and spin rate, will be shielded by Venus's massive presence at the net. If EALA can consistently hit her spots, sliding the ball out wide on the ad court or jamming the returner on the deuce court, Venus will have a field day picking off the weak returns. But beyond the XS and OS of tennis strategy, the true value of this partnership lies in the mentorship and the psychological transfer of knowledge. EALA is a former U.S. Open junior champion. She knows how to win. She knows how to handle pressure. But the pressure of the professional circuit, The grueling week-in and week-out grind of the WTA Tour is a completely different beast. EALA is currently navigating the incredibly difficult transition from being a heralded junior prodigy to becoming a consistent, deep-run threat in senior Grand Slams. She has had moments of absolute brilliance, like taking a set-off world number 2 Elena Rybakina earlier this year at the Italian Open, demonstrating that she absolutely has a raw talent to hang with the elite. But she has also faced inevitable setbacks, the early round exits, and the emotional toll of professional sports. Who better to guide her through the mental labyrinth of professional tennis than Venus Williams? Venus has seen everything the sport has to offer. She has faced the highest of highs, achieving world number 1 and dominating the sport. She has faced agonizing lows, battling career-threatening injuries and the debilitating effects of Sjogren's syndrome, an autoimmune disease that causes extreme fatigue and joint pain. Yet, her love for the game, her pure, unadulterated passion for hitting a yellow fuzzy ball, has kept her on the tour long after she had anything left to prove to anyone. Venus can teach EALA about match management. She can teach her how to conserve energy during a long tournament, how to read an opponent's body language, and how to compartmentalize a bad error and instantly reset for the next point. During changeovers at Bad Homburg, the conversations between these two will be a masterclass in sports psychology. Venus won't just be a partner. She'll be an on-court coach, a stabilizing force, and a living, breathing encyclopedia of tennis wisdom. We must also analyze what this means for the broader landscape of tennis and its cultural impact. ALEX EALA is not just a tennis player. She is an icon in the Philippines, in a country that is intensely passionate about sports, particularly basketball and boxing. EALA has single-handedly carved out a massive following for tennis. When she plays, the nation watches. Her success is a point of immense national pride. By stepping on the court alongside a global superstar like Venus Williams, EALA is not only elevating her own profile, but also shining a massive spotlight on Southeast Asian tennis. It proves that talent from the region can share the biggest stages with the absolute legends of the Western world. It breaks down barriers and inspires a whole new generation of young girls in the Philippines and across Asia to pick up a racket, believing that they too can one day play alongside their heroes. EALA's inclusion in the Forbes 30 Under 30 list is proof that her brand extends far beyond the baseline. She is a recognized force of influence, and pairing with the Williams brand, which is synonymous with female empowerment and athletic greatness, is a match made in marketing and cultural heaven. Conversely, we have to look at this from the perspective of Venus Williams. Why, at 45, with millions in the bank and a legacy etched in stone, is she playing a WTA 500 doubles event in Germany with a 21-year-old? The answer lies in her fundamental character. Venus is an ambassador for sport. She has always been deeply invested in the future of women's tennis. She fought for equal prize money at Wimbledon. She has consistently supported younger players. By choosing to play with EALA, Venus is actively participating in the generational handover. She recognizes EALA's talent, her work ethic, and her potential, and she is offering her a profound endorsement. It is a generous, beautiful act by a champion who understands that the sport is larger than any single individual. Venus knows that the future of tennis depends on bright, charismatic stars like EALA, and she is using her own colossal platform to help elevate the next generation. It is a dynamic we have seen sparingly in tennis, where competitive nature often breeds isolation, making this collaboration all the more special and worthy of our deep analysis. As we look toward the tournament itself, the expectation should be tempered with realism, yet fueled by undeniable excitement. Grass court tennis is unpredictable. The draw will be tough, filled with established doubles specialists and teams that have been playing together for years. EALA and Williams will have precious little time to develop their on-court chemistry, learn each other's tendencies, and establish their communication protocols. There will be miscommunications. There might be clashing movements. But if they can find a rhythm, if EALA can serve consistently and utilize her heavy forehand to set up Venus at the net, they have the potential to be a highly disruptive and incredibly entertaining duo. Win or lose, every match they play together will be a must-watch event, a fascinating case study in contrasting styles and generational collaboration. As we bring this extensive analysis to a close, it is essential to reflect on what this moment truly represents for the sport of tennis and for the fans who follow it with such devotion. The upcoming Bad Homburg Open is no longer just a preliminary stop on the way to Wimbledon. It has been transformed into a global stage for a unique sporting narrative. The pairing of Alexandra Eala and Venus Williams is a brilliant reminder of why we watch sports in the first place. We watch to witness greatness. Yes, we watch to see athletic feats that defy human limitation. But perhaps more profoundly, we watch for stories. We watch for the human element, the connections forged across time, geography, and experience. In seeing Venus Williams, a woman who practically invented modern power tennis in the late 90s, standing alongside ALEX EALA, a young woman born in the mid-2000s who represents the global, heavily topspin-oriented modern game, we are watching the evolution of tennis unfold right before our eyes. It is a living, breathing timeline of the sport. For ALEX EALA, this week in Germany will be a week she will undoubtedly remember for the rest of her life. The lessons she learns, the advice she receives during those quiet moments on the bench, and the sheer experience of sharing the pressure and the glory with a legend will be invaluable assets as she continues her march toward the top of the WTA rankings. She is already a champion in the making, but this experience will add a layer of veteran polish to her youthful exuberance. For Venus Williams, this is a continuation of her extraordinary legacy. It is a testament to her unyielding refusal to step away from the sport she loves and her desire to remain actively involved in shaping its future. It proves that true legends do not just fade into the background. They actively work to build a bridge for those who follow. Her presence on the grass courts of Bad Homburg will be a gift to the fans, a reminder of her enduring grace, and a masterclass in competitive longevity. For the Philippines and for Asian tennis as a whole, this is a moment of profound validation. It signifies that their brightest star is recognized and respected by the highest echelons of tennis royalty. It will undoubtedly spark a massive surge of interest, inspiring countless young athletes to dream bigger, to train harder, and to believe that the international stage is entirely within their reach. The impact of seeing a Filipina athlete side by side with an American icon cannot be overstated. It is the kind of imagery that shatters glass ceilings and redefines what is possible. As the tournament approaches, all eyes will be firmly fixed on this unprecedented duo. Will they secure victory? Will they face early adversity? Ultimately, the final scoreline, while important, might actually be secondary to the narrative itself. The mere fact that they are taking the court together is a victory for the sport. It is a celebration of tennis's rich history and its incredibly bright future. Thank you all so much for joining me in this deep dive into this extraordinary breaking news. The world of sports moves fast, but moments like this demand that we slow down, analyze, and truly appreciate the history being made. As ALEX EALA and Venus Williams prepare to lace up their grass court shoes and step onto the lawns of Bad Homburg, we will be watching every serve, every volley, and every interaction with bated breath. Be sure to stay tuned for all the updates as this historic tournament unfolds. Keep loving the game, keep supporting the athletes, and we will see you next time for more in-depth coverage of the stories that matter most in the world of tennis.